I'm not going to be just a stay-at-home mom who is cooking and cleaning all day and taking care of the kids when I already carried a child in my belly for 9 months.
It's no accident it sounds like you're leveling up in a video game. 48% of 18 to 29-year-olds have an online dating profile.
Make them work for it.
45% of people say they're more frustrated with this form of dating than hopeful.
There are so many people you can connect with.
The Swipe Wrong Podcast. Everyday people telling everyday stories of the swipe right world.
Well, I know he had a good time.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. Whenever you are ready to listen to us, we're just going to be sitting here chilling, waiting, being those guys, just kind of lurking in the corner. You know, those guys will be those guys. Welcome to the Swipe Wrong Podcast. I am your host. I am Chaos. We are the number one podcast amongst people who like to use the word juice box in a sentence. I'm one of those people. How's everybody been? Hopefully outstanding. It's been a busy couple of months for us at the show. We just keep plugging along. We need as many people who want to share their stories as possible. I say that probably every week, but it's true. Like it's funny. I've talked to a couple of people that are like, so what kind of stories do you want? I'm like, I just want your story. Your story is what I want. And that's the point. Like whatever your story, whatever avenue you go down and however you end up there, that's what I want to hear. There might be some of the epic stories that you hear, and there just might be just some good stories. Like the thing is we're trying to be as relatable as possible. Not everybody has the most extreme situation that they go through. Not like, you know, airing some dirty laundry, I think is one of my most favorite episodes that we have, just because of just what the fuck was that dude thinking? You know, it's like, Jesus, but not everybody has that. And that's the point, you know, this is the point to where everybody kind of figures out that I'm not alone. It's not just me going through this. So I just want your story, you know, 317-426-6616. Just shoot a text if you don't want to call, or we'll connect and just kind of get an idea. Like the last few people I've talked to were a little concerned about coming on the show just because they didn't know what it'd be like to talk to me. I'm like, I swear I'm a nice guy. So, it usually ends up going well and they going on. And this is one of them too. So, and throwing in also, you know, we did the Frank Talk Summit. That was pretty fantastic. If you guys haven't watched that, that's on our YouTube channel. Night 1 and night 2 will be up. That was a lot of fun. So you're just kind of getting to see where the show is growing. There's a lot of other things we're working on too, which we will let you know, as we get closer and closer to doing them. So in the meantime, you know how we do it. Sit back, relax, put your feet up, enjoy, grab your popcorn, get it buttered, throw some caramel on there, whatever it is you want to put on there, you know, some popcorn butter, popcorn salt, just maybe not even popcorn. I don't know. Go with the Milk Duds. Those will pull out some cavities, so be careful. If you're driving in traffic, please don't hit that person next to you, and enjoy until it hurts. Did I forget to mention we do have a word from our crack staff legal department? Here they are.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions or any entities they represent. This podcast is about dating experiences. It is not to say one dating app is better or worse than another.
I seriously, and maybe you've heard it in the episodes, but I say in the episodes all the time, like it really is so much more crazy for women than it is for men.
Yeah,
so you guys have much more, like between the male ego, keyboard courage, and anonymity. You guys got to put up with so much more shit than we do.
Mm-hmm. And it's scary too sometimes.
Yeah,
it really can be scary.
Have you had a date where you were scared, where you're like, I need to fucking bounce before this dude turns me into a horror movie?
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah.
So tell me about that one then. So like you met on an app, Tinder, I assume,
we met
right?
on Tinder.
Okay.
So basically, I met this guy on Tinder, right? And we were going to go on a date and everything was like going fine. But in high school, he was a wrestler. And so he was a little bit more aggressive without realizing it. And so I don't know if he meant anything by it, but just wait. So
Okay. All right. All right. Let me grab some popcorn. Let me get this.
So I was talking to him, and he like grabbed me by the arm. Okay. And like he grabbed me it hurt. Okay.
Okay.
And
With some
I was
force,
like,
then.
hey, yeah, I was like, hey, that hurts. Please don't do that. And he like he would kind of like punch me around, like one of those like playful punches, but like it hurt more than he thought it did. And so I finally was like, hey, like stop doing that, because that actually hurts. And I don't think you realize it, but it actually hurts. And this man looks at me and he was like, but how much pain you're in is how much I care about you.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yes. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah, how else am I supposed to show you that I care if you're not in pain?
Oh, this is day one. This is the first time you're hanging out?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
I was just like, that is not how that works. Like, that is not how you show somebody you care. And he was just like, how else am I supposed to do it then?
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to like, I don't know if you know like where he lives, but I'll Amazon this dude love languages book or something, right? I mean, pain is not one of them. I mean, masochism is fun sometimes, depending on the partner consensually, but not like, hey, within 5 minutes, I really care about. Oh, no way.
Yeah.
For real.
Yes.
God
and
damn.
like he said that, and my mind was just blown.
Yeah.
Like, how do you genuinely think that?
Yeah, exactly. You know, then you're also thinking, well, what happened to this person to make them think this way? But
exactly.
he went from red flags to like a pirate flag. Like there's no.
Yeah, and I guess my first red flag should have been like in his high school there was a rumor that he used to beat his girlfriend.
Oh fuck.
So
he must have cared about her a lot. Right?
Honestly, he must have cared about her so much.
Yeah.
Like, wow, I wish.
That is true love in his mind. That's his fucking Valentine right there.
Oh yeah.
Jesus
But that's the only one that I've been like genuinely scared about.
I don't blame you.
But other dates I've been on, like there was one I don't think I could ever forget this one. So he was in one of my classes, and that's how we like originally met. Okay, and so one day after class, like I always thought this man was so attractive. Like you
crushed on him. You crushed on him in high school and stuff. Okay, and then just ran across him in the apps. I take it.
Yeah. And
let me ask real quick: how long have you been fucking around on the apps? Like you've been on them for?
Okay, so it started. I have been doing it for like a few months now.
Okay.
Which honestly, I have not gotten a single good date out of it. So,
girl,
I guess that should be my first sign. But you know what? I still continue. It's fine. Anyways, so it started because my ex-boyfriend broke up with me on finals week. Okay. And then that weekend, I was going to watch my sister get engaged.
Oh, wow.
And him and I had been dating for almost 2 years. So it was not a good timing. It was not good for my mental health. It was really bad. Sure. But and so I finally was like, you know what? I've heard he's messing around with some girls. I might as well try and like go on a date or something and like get back into dating and stuff. And so I got Tinder and made an account and everything like that, and it was all going fine until I went on my first date.
So,
I almost took Tinder as like a game, kind of.
Yeah, right. It kind of is. Like for a lot of people, it is. It's like, you know, you're trying to get your high score.
Yeah, exactly. But no, so this guy in my class, we finally went on a date, and the first couple days were actually going really well, and I actually saw something. Like, you know, usually if you're going on dates with people, you expect to, at some point get into a relationship.
Yeah.
I guess that wasn't his opinion, because I started to actually get feelings for him, and he had kind of stopped talking to me a little bit. And so he finally texted me and he was like, hey, I'd like to talk if you don't mind. And so we meet up in person, have a nice conversation until this conversation ends. And he was like, so what do you want out of what we're doing here? And I was like, well, I mean, I actually have feelings for you. And so honestly, at some point I'd like to, have a relationship with you and possibly date for who knows how long. And he was like, He was like, yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
That's what I was afraid of.
And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, I don't like to consider myself a man whore, but I guess I kind of go on dates with people just to have sex with them.
It would have been nice to know up front, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And he on every date he was like calling me beautiful and like complimenting me, like, except on the first date he didn't pay for me.
He didn't pay for you in the first date?
No.
Oh shit. Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
All right.
And I see. Okay. Also about this guy, so I suggested going to Orange Leaf. Okay. And
look, the No Way Wednesdays are the best. Come on now.
I know.
I understand it. I don't have them up here, and I know they're down there, and I go there. Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay, sorry.
Orange Leaf.
Yep. Okay. All right. Could at least pay for No Way Wednesdays.
Yeah, but and so I suggested we go to Orange Leaf, and he goes, "Oh no, I just went on a date there, so probably not."
Jesus. I mean, at least that party's candid. At least he's upfront about that, I suppose.
Honest.
Yeah.
But and then I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then so we got on a different conversation, and him and I had mutual friends who dated in high school, and the girl cheated on him, like in the relationship after like 2 years of dating, and so we were just talking about that, and I was like, yeah, I just really don't understand how people can cheat. Like it genuinely doesn't make sense to me, because if the relationship isn't going well, then you either break up or have a mature conversation about it, and that's just how it goes.
Sure.
And he was like, no, I mean, I kind of understand why people cheat. Like, it makes sense to me. And I was
he was
like,
the one that was cheated on.
No.
Oh.
Like this was they were our mutual friends.
Oh, okay.
And
I'm sorry.
I was just on a date with this guy.
I follow.
And he was like, yeah, I understand why people cheat. It makes sense to me. And I was just like,
did
how
he give
do
a more
you
detailed answer? I'm sorry, I keep talking over you. I apologize. Did he give a more detailed answer?
You're fine. And I was just like, how do you even think that? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. But and so anyways, back to the conversation of like the car. Like we were in the car and like in person, and he was like, yeah, that's what I was afraid of, no relationships, just sex. Anyways, and so I was like, are you kidding me? Like, why would you go on dates with somebody, treat them well, compliment them, make them feel good if that's all you're wanting? Like, it just didn't make sense. And he was like, yeah, I mean, I do feel bad about it. And I could tell that you were starting to get feelings. So I figured I would tell you now rather than later. And I was like, well, first of all, now's not a good time either, because you should have told me that from the beginning.
Yeah. For sure.
And then I still feel bad about this, but not really. And so it was like silent because I was really pissed off. Okay.
Sure.
And it was raining. And so like I just offered to drive him back to his car. And he was like, oh, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I fully expected to have to walk back in the rain. And I'm like, well, I'm tempted to make you. And so we're driving back. I put it on complete silence, no music, no talking, on purpose, just so he can feel like the awkward silence, And he then like broke the silence, and he was like, hey, just so you know, I wasn't lying whenever I said, like, I do think you're beautiful and your eyes are just gorgeous, and starts complimenting me. And I literally, I slammed on my brakes, and I was like, don't you ever say that to me again. Don't you think that? Don't you look at me during classes. Don't talk to me during classes. I don't want to hear your voice ever again, and get out of my car. I literally kicked that man out of my car, and he started laughing, and he was like, are you serious? Like, are you actually kicking me out right now? And I was like, yeah, get out of my car. If you're going to say that to me and not mean it, get out of my car. And it was still raining. And he was like, oh, okay. And he got out of my car, and I drove off.
Oh, see, like, that's the thing too. Like, I think there's a lot of, people will date for relationships, and other people will like date for sex, but they won't say it. Like, I've heard that too often. It's like, they feel like they have to develop the rapport and develop the relationship. And all of a sudden, you get to a point where like, the natural, like in a relationship, you're naturally going to get there at some point. But like if he came out and said, hey, by the way, your eyes are beautiful, you look amazing, I really want to have, like, I need you to hang from the chandelier and have crazy sex with you, you're gonna be like, yeah, I mean, we could do orange leaf, but that's probably about it. I mean, that might be not all you say there.
And clearly that's not gonna work either.
No, he takes other people there. Yeah, the big jerk. But if he says that, then he's probably pretty certain that he's not gonna get, like, it's almost a nefarious intention to take you to, make you feel good, as you should feel good, to try to, have sex with you instead of tell you straight up front. Have you run into that before? Like, is that the only time you felt like you run into that?
Into what? Like,
into somebody who was dating to have sex instead of, or going out just, or without telling you up front anyway?
I'm trying to think. There's definitely been more. Oh,
look, I see the light bulb and everything. It's like, I know this one.
So basically, I went on this date with this guy, and again, everything was going well, and we go back to like his place, and it was getting a little bit fun, and I was cool, I was chill with that, and then he just like stopped talking to me like after that, and I texted him and I was like, hey, like, what's up? Like, why are you not texting me? Doesn't respond. And I texted him again and I was like, hey, if you're not wanting this, like, that's fine, but you need to let me know that. And this man texted me back and he was like, yeah, after what happened, I realized that I don't actually want anything with you, and I literally just wanted to like make out with you, and I thought that you were hot and stuff like that. And I said, yeah, screw you, don't talk to me. I blocked him on everything.
Oh man.
And then I also kind of messed around with my ex, but that's beside the point.
Oh yeah, but like, exes, sometimes that's what they're still around for, is like,
yeah, hey, exactly.
It's like, hey, exactly. I remember that time and I know exactly what's going to happen afterwards. Like,
yeah, well, but by mess around, I mean, like, he cheated on me. Okay. And so, casually, and he also did like a lot of like bad things to me, which no.
Okay.
And so I may or may not have like slightly played with his feelings just to get back at him.
Like, no one's gonna be mad at you for that. Like, I mean, like,
right.
He
deserves it.
That's kind of what happens. And let him, he kind of let himself back into it too. Like, you gotta know, like, that's part of the game, part of what happens, how it goes.
Exactly. He deserved it. Like, it's fine. That, like, no. If you deserve it, I could not care less.
Yeah. Like, well, dude deserved to walk in the rain. That's for sure. And and your ex sound like, if he treated you that bad, like, I mean, it's got to be part of his, like, what is his expectation when you think your ex? At that point, his expectation is what, that you're going to get back together. I can't imagine that after the things that it sounds like he might have done. So, like, that's kind of more than fair.
And he thought that, like, him and I were all fine and like we were good to go. And I'm like, you have no idea what you were actually, like, the mental toll that you actually caused on me. Because...
I don't mean to laugh at that. I'm sorry about that. No, I didn't know you were going there with that. I was like, I was about ready to say, you have no idea what I'm about to do to you, bro. That's not how you were going to say. Sorry.
Hey, I mean, you know what? You can laugh if you want.
No, not at the pain that he caused you. That's
I've laughed about it too. So, because
Yeah. So you haven't been on long, but it sounds like you've just had train wreck after fucking train wreck.
Yeah. It's really made me think about getting off the app, and then I do get off the app, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get back on. Maybe I'll find someone that's like really nice. You're addicted to the video game a little bit. Honestly, it seems I probably am. Yeah, it's not uncommmen. It's totally not. No. And are you just on Tinder? Or are you like on Bumble and Facebook dating and stuff like that too? So one of my friends one of my friends has suggested Hinge to me. Okay. But I haven't gotten on it yet. I've been thinking about it. Yeah. Because it kind of seems like more of a little fun app than Tinder. Yeah. Because I feel like Tinder, and I trusted Tinder too because like a lot of my sister and her fiance met on a dating app. Sure. And like another one of my friends in my sorority and her fiance met on Tinder, and like I've just seen a lot of relationships work out well that were from dating apps, and so I fully thought like I trusted the process, and I shouldn't have at all.
It's funny, like from what I hear, and then I hear a lot of folks' stories. Like some people swear by Tinder, and some people swear at Tinder. So it just kind of depends on kind of what you get. Like, and I don't know. Like you're gonna run into like train wrecks, and maybe like in my mind, like if somebody's train wreck and somebody else's train wreck match up, then go be a train wreck together, and it works out great. But it's definitely a bunch of train wrecks,
right? But I'm not trying to be a train wreck.
No. There you go. I mean, like so. There's like my dysfunction needs to match somebody else's dysfunction. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. So like, I know, like, I'd love to say I'm perfect, but no way am I perfect.
It's okay. So, neither am I. I don't think anybody is perfect.
So I'm just hoping like my crazy or whatever you want to call it, my dysfunction or my damage matches somebody else's damage. And that's where I kind of go from. And that's where I think it kind of hits with Tinder stuff. So how many dates have you? So 6 months, 5 months, 4 or 5. I mean, you look amazing. So I imagine so you're getting like plenty of dates, I imagine, and they're all fucking like, what's the one batshit that sticks out in your mind the most?
Either the one that, the whole, like, how much pain you're in is how much I care about you.
Crazy. Yeah.
That crazy. One, or there's another one. And I should have broken it off from the beginning, honestly, because the first date we went on, well, it wasn't really like a date. It was more just like a kind of hangout type deal. Okay. We went to the mall, and I walked into Sephora because I had to like get mascara or something. I don't remember what it was, but and we walk in, and like you always get greeted there typically by like a gay guy, and like he just walked up to me and he was like, hey, just letting you know the whole store is blah, 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 blah. Let me know if you need any help or something like that. I was like, okay, sounds good. Thank you. And I walk away and I look back at this guy, and he has the most like disgusted look on his face. And I was like, what's that face for? Like,
you asked him? That's nice.
Yeah, I did. I was like, what? Why is your face like that? Like, why do you look so disgusted? And he was like, I just don't like when they talk to me.
Oh, really?
And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, what do you mean? Like the workers? Like, you don't like to be bothered whenever you're shopping? And he's like, no, gay people.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, listen, I'm not a political person. I don't care what somebody else believes. I don't care what somebody like doesn't believe. I do not care what you think or like where you stand politically. But that doesn't mean that you need to treat other people like horribly.
No.
As long as like if you are nice to somebody, I don't care what you believe in. I don't care. Like you are a great person. If you are nice to people, I will be friends with you.
Yeah, sure.
But him making that face, I was like,
yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then we were texting, and because I always like to, kind of hint and see where people stand, like future wise, like what they want to do, where they want to be, stuff like that. Just to like, because I genuinely want to find somebody like for my future, like I'm not just, I don't want to just date anymore, like just to date people. Like I genuinely want to like find my person,
Yeah, that's all.
And so I was like having a like serious conversation with him. And I told him, so I'm on the pre-vet track at USI, and I plan to become a veterinary anesthesiologist one day.
Nice.
And this man that I was talking to was going to be a plumber, which no hate to plumbers.
Right.
But with what I specifically wanted to do, I would be making about 3 times as much as he would.
Right.
Okay. And we were having a conversation. And he was like talking about kids and stuff. And he was like, well, I want my kids to be homeschooled. Personally, I have always wanted my kids to be in public school or private. I don't really care. But like, I want them to be out there and like have a social life and find friends in school and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, I have always wanted my kids to be homeschooled. And I was like, okay, okay, I can work with that. And then he was like, yeah. And then I would need the wife, to stay at home and like clean and make dinner and teach the kids, stuff like that. And I was like, well, I mean, you do realize that I would be making quite a bit more money than you would. And I'm not saying money is like, the most the most important factor, but like it is an important factor. And I was like, I would be making a lot more, and that could support the family. And he was like, oh, I mean, I guess you would be the breadwinner. And I was like, I mean, so why can't you stay at home then? And he was like, well, because I don't want to. And he was like, I think the wife should be the stay-at-home person instead of like the dad should provide.
This guy's 100 years. Like, he's 100 years too late. He is like 100 years ago. This all would have made sense. Like 100 years ago, he could have, been angry if somebody, was gay, and like that. The pursuit of happiness is tough. Whether you're gay or straight or whatever. But and then the other side of it is, oh yeah, I want the woman to stay home. What, barefoot and pregnant? Is that what you're hoping for, bro? Mm-hmm. I mean that's hundreds of years too late. Not even 100 years too late. Oh and my god!
I was like, are you for real? Like, why would I do that whenever I would probably be making over 3 times as much as you would, right. And I could easily provide for the family. And he was just like, no, I don't want to.
How long did it take you to run once you heard that? You stayed a little while. Oh, you did. Oh, okay. All right. So the sex was really good, I'm assuming. Okay.
I mean,
okay. I mean, like, look, there are certain things like that can be hard to find. So you're like, well, he's a plumber. We'll stay around for a while, but
yes. But it's just like, I don't know why I stayed around some of the times with these guys, because like so many of them were just like walking red flags.
Sure.
Straight up, like could have been wearing completely red, carrying a red flag. And right. I would still have turned my eyes and just like, no, that's not a red flag. That's a complete green flag, actually. Like, no red flag. Nope.
You're an optimist. You're just an optimist. Yeah, that's what you are.
I struggle to see bad in people, and I
love that.
Try and find the good in everybody, but sometimes that comes back and bites me in the butt. So
I 100% love that, though. I mean, I'd rather much rather be that way. I mean, if it bites you in the butt, I'm sorry, that sucks. But much rather go into it with an optimistic state of mind and going into it just thinking the world's coming to an end this time, because it will. I mean, if you think that way in the beginning, it will. And if you're optimistic, sometimes they're just gonna want you to be barefoot and pregnant at home, and that's just not gonna work out either.
Yeah, barefoot and pregnant, it's fine.
Yeah. That's the road it sounded like he was going down. You're like, bro, come on.
And I told him, I was like, listen, like, I'm sure you can probably find somebody that wants that.
Sure.
But that is not my thing. Like, absolutely not. I want to work one day. Like, I'm not going to be just a stay-at-home mom who is cooking and cleaning all day and taking care of the kids when I already carried a child in my belly for 9 months.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like, you can go home. Oh, wait, but you don't want to. Sorry.
Right.
You don't think that it's morally okay.
Right.
Sorry, my bad. But it's okay for me to do it. It's all okay.
Thank you for being along for the ride of the Swipe Wrong podcast, where we take everyday people like you and me telling their everyday stories of their swipe right life. Show is produced by Jay Pelham. He is the host of Pelham Place. If you want to reach out to the show and tell us your story, we'd love to hear it. Give us a call. Google Voice us at 317-426-6616. Leave your information and we'll get back to you, or just your story. You can also email us at swipewrongpod@gmail.com. We are on Insta, Facebook, TikTok. We're out there. I am Chaos, the host of Chaotic Commentary. You can find me pretty much anywhere that you see me. And next week, the saga continues. Swipe wrong. Swipe wrong.